got a spindle lock, so 1 wrench to change your bits. You know, an offset base, a plunge base, got a fixed base, a tilt base. I mean, there's nothing you can't do with that router.
Hey, what's up? Barnaby here. So you want to know more about the MAKITA compact router kit? 1.25 horsepower, comes with all of these attachments, from the offset base to the plunge to the fixed to the tilt. It's capable of spinning the bit anywhere up to 30,000 RPMs. The low end would be 10,000, and it's got 6 speeds to it. And what we'd like to do with tools like this is put them into the hands of guys like Nate right here, who is one of our most prolific contributors to toolselect.com. And so what we did is we flew him up from Georgia to test out a bunch of tools as kind of a thank you for being such a great contributor to toolselect.com. So what we're interested in, Nate, is to kind of fill us all in on what you are as far as a woodworker. Are you do-it-yourselfer? Are you pro? Where are you in that mix?
Well, today I'm a do-it-yourselfer, working on honey-do lists and projects around the house. I used to own a trim carpentry company and did some GC work, building restaurants and houses in Atlanta.
Cool. So being a trim carpenter, you know yourself some routers, huh?
Yeah, I used to use them all day, every day.
Okay, well, let's talk about what you use this compact router for.
I used it on a couple projects at home. Did a little bit of fluted casing, did a couple little shelf projects, doing edge profiles. Worked great for me.
Okay, because really what we're going to be bearing down here is on the issues of performance, design, quality, and value. So, you know, a lot of people, they see a smaller router like this and they go, is it going to perform well in all applications? So give me a read on that based on your experience.
I thought it was great. 1.25 horse is huge in such a small body. Ran really well, has, you know, an offset base, a plunge base, got a fixed base, a tilt base. I mean, there's nothing you can't do with that router. I mean, it'll cover every project.
Okay, and it put the lines in that you wanted it to. It performed well in that regard?
Yeah, it has the edge guide, so when you're doing fluting, it's easy to adjust. You can make your straight passes right through the middle of the board with no problem. Plunge base has multiple settings on it. Easy depth stop, micro adjustment, good visibility front and back, dust collection. You know, it's got it all. Okay,
so as we continue on down the way, because we've kind of established that it's a monster of a router in a small package. It does everything you thought it should do, but let's continue on with design, okay? So we've kind of done the offset. I guess just put the fine point to this one. Is it that this is good to get into corners?
Right, the offset base, you can mount your router here, but your bit is offset. So you can get right up into a tight corner where you wouldn't normally be able to go with a full-size router body.
Okay, and then on the fixed, let's make the transition right here just to see how it goes.
Awesome, it's a really simple change. 1 click to pull the router out.
Okay.
You move it around to the fixed base. 1 click to unlock it, and then it slides right in on the rack and pinion system.
Okay.
You can move it up and down, lock it into place, you're ready to go.
Okay, and the controls are where you want it to be?
Controls are great. They're right on your thumb for on and off for your variable speed. Again, right there. Very easy to use. Very you know, self-explanatory. Okay, then let's talk about the tilt base. What are the degrees on that? Tilt base again pops right out, pops right in, like you just saw. It'll tilt back to 45 degrees and forward all the way to 30. So your laminate guys can get everything they need in one tilt base. Okay, and so let's talk about popping the bit out. Is it easy or hard to do? Bit changes on this are a piece of cake. Unlock it, pull it out. Got a spindle lock, so 1 wrench to change your bits. No more busted knuckles doing the old 2 wrench system. Right. Really, really simple. Okay, and then you know, when it's in the base, it seems like there's some good plastic right here for visibility. Was there a good sight line with all the bases? Yeah, there was. On the fixed base, it's, you know, halfway around it is clear plastic, so you can get a good sight line. Usually you're just doing edge profiles, so you don't need to see that much anyway, so you don't have it on the back. On the plunge base, you've got good sight all the way around. Yeah. So you can always keep a good eye on your line, make sure you're right where you want to be. Yeah, and it looks like they took some care as far as protecting the surfaces that you're going to be working on with the no-mar attachment. Right, everything has no-mar base plates, so you're not going to scratch up your material when you're sliding across it. Yeah. And then everything's built just real solid, all very solid metal construction. Okay, cool. And then there is the bag. I mean, this is a pretty good sized bag for that little body right here, but with all the attachments, is this a well thought out bag? Yeah, with all the attachments in there, there's just so many parts and pieces. You want it very compartmentalized, so you're not just throwing it all in there and then trying to dig out the right piece when you need it. So it's got a spot for every piece. keeps it all very organized and ready to work.
Okay, now this is an artful tool, right? Because it is about just delicate work by and large. And so for that, do you think it's going to hold up quality-wise? Is it made of materials that you think are going to stand the test of time?
Yeah, I do. You know, it's not your 3 1/4 horse heavy duty door building router.
Right.
So it's not made for that. Don't try and use it for that. It's got a 1/4 inch shank. You use your 1/4 inch bits. You do your trim. You know, you do your edge profiles. You can do little fluting jobs. You can do laminate trimming. You can do everything it's designed to do for a very long time.
Cool. All right, then. Now it's time for the moment of truth when it comes to the tool. A lot of people are thinking, should I buy it or not buy it? Nate, you've used it. What do you say?
This is the nicest compact router I've had in my hands ever. Real solid, lots of accessories, good for everybody. It's got a base for everybody. You know, yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, it's all about getting the real story from somebody who's actually put the tool in their hands and hit the on button and gone to town with it, right? Because you want to know, is it the right tool for me? And that's the value of toolselect.com. Real stats, real people, making it real easy to figure out which tool's right for the job. And be like Nate, become a member of toolselect.com. Maybe you won't be the lucky person to be flown up to Grand Rapids and check out tools, but you will contribute to a growing community of people who really care about getting the job done right with the right tools in their hands. So there's great value in that as well. We are toolselect.com.